Episode 35 of the Redmont Rangers Road to Glory career mode here on E8FC 24, and in our next game we have Wrexham, fellow promotion rivals from League 1, or from League 2 rather, up into League 1. We were battling with Wrexham last season for basically the duration of the season to see who would come out as League 2 champions. It was us in the end, but Wrexham of course did make the jump up to League 1 along with us. We're having two very different kinds of seasons right now, however. So Redmont Rangers, we currently sit in 6th place, so a playoff place at the moment for us, whereas Wrexham sit all the way down in 24th place. Last place in the league, rock bottom, only 2 wins, 19 losses already on the season, and 59 goals conceded. That might be... it's not quite twice as many as us. We've conceded quite a few goals as well, to be fair. But it's still a massive amount of goals to concede. And a really poor season for them so far. So what we're going to do in this episode is simulate that game against Wrexham. And ordinarily, it would be a game that I'd be eager to play. However, simulating that game does, get us into January. So we can get the money from players like Suhail, who are going to be on the way out. And we can see exactly how much money we've got to spend in January. And it will also allow us to play this game against Derby County. So a home fixture in the FA Cup against a team I believe to be Championship opposition. Let's see if we can find the Championship and just double check that for certain. But I mean, they're not in League 1 with us. They can't be down in League 2. So they must be up in the Championship, right? They are up in the Championship, but they are in 23rd position, so only just up in the Championship. So, yeah, Championship opposition for us. It'll be a really good test to see how far we've come, and whether or not we can, hang with the kind of teams that we'll be up against if we do manage to secure promotion this season. Promotion, far from a given this season. We're just about hanging on to a playoff place at the moment. Just a point ahead of Reading, so definitely not a foregone conclusion that we will be promoted this year, but I think the Derby game will be a good barometer of whether or not we're ready to make the step up. So let's sort of team out for this game against Wrexham. Looks like we're going to have to do some rotating of the squad. Dorset can come in, Jose De Silva can play at left back. I'll put Bullock just on the bench rather than in the starting 11, and Gibbs I think can start on the left. Those probably are about the only changes we can make. We can strengthen the bench a little bit, but that is about all we can do. So we will quick sim this game against Wrexham. We had 4 consecutive episodes unbeaten, and we very almost had a 5th episode unbeaten. We started last episode with a 3-1 win away at Stockport. We then followed that up with a 2-1 win at home against Shrewsbury, and we just needed that 3rd game against Peterborough away to be at least a draw, but unfortunately they beat us 2-1 and put an end to our, what would that have been, a 14 game unbeaten run. Couldn't quite make it 15, but we'll see if we can get started again on another run here against Wrexham. We do have a news story about the game to read. It probably is a big one. Lots of neutrals will be interested in this, I would imagine. And again, it's a battle between 2 of the clubs in the pursuing pack, so it's the same news story that we had from Stockport. Wrexham not in the pursuing pack. They're rock bottom. They're having a historically bad season. Redmont Rangers will be looking forward to another win if the 3-0 victory in their last encounter against Wrexham offers any clue as to which way today's result will go. If we can get another 3-0 victory, I would be more than happy. Any victory at all, though, would be a result that I would be happy with. So we'll see what Hans Newman's got to say about the game. Are we worried complacency will seep into our dressing room? We did go 14 games unbeaten, so I mean those kinds of things can happen when you're on a run like that. However, we did lose to Peterborough We know what Wrexham can do on the day. So we're going to have to ensure we don't get complacent. Can we find some big performances to get back on track? Let's just say it's a real challenge. I would say we'd let our standards slip or anything like that. We beat Wrexham 3-0 last time. Can we get another comfortable victory? If we do, our jobs will be okay. We do have to do our jobs though. So
right, guys, we're out of...
Let's see how this game goes against Wrexham. And then we should get some money rolling into the bank in January. So a 1-1 draw is not too bad, to be honest. I'm happy enough with that. 2 goals in quick succession just after half-time. Ryan Lancaster opening the scoring. And then Palmer equalises. Not the best result considering how Wrexham's season is going. But also not the worst result either. It's points on the board, so can't complain too much. Football isn't always predictable. It's basically exactly the way that I would put that. Did the opposition play above themselves or were we below par? I'm not really sure, not having seen the game, so can't answer that one with too much clarity. What do we make of the team's performance? We didn't underestimate them. I told the team not to underestimate them going in, so let's just hope that we didn't underestimate them. And we have advanced into January here, so we should have... So Morrow is recalled by Sassuolo, and I'm not too surprised about that, to be honest. We brought both him and Daniel Jebison in on loan. Jebison's been getting some game time. Luca Morrow just hasn't been able to be part of the plans, to be honest, so not surprised he's been recalled. Nobody in this first scout report that looks interesting. This guy really doesn't. He looks like one of the worst prospects I've seen, I think. 17 years old, maximum of 48 overall, but could be as low as 34. His potential goes as high as a whopping 58, and he's worth 80,000. He also just looks awful, and his hair is disgusting. So, Declan Burrows, you can go away. Alfie Porter looks cool. That's a hair style, if I've ever seen one. He's a goalkeeper though. We don't need a goalkeeper, especially one who doesn't look spectacular. Jensen Nichols, 64 to 90, 16 overall. He's worth 425. Let's sign him. We can always release him. So Suhail departs. Doesn't tell us how much money we get from that just yet. But we will see how much we get here as he does officially leave the club. Oh, maybe we won't. West Brom would like Maya Walter on loan with a deal to buy. Well, West Brom will not be getting Maya Walter in on loan. And the same can be said here for Spezia. They will not be getting Roman Hewitt. So let's jump over to the finances tab and we can see how much money we have got. So current budget says 1.7, but it tells us right here that we've got 2 million. I guess it's rounding up from 1.7, but that's a little bit misleading in that case. In the last episode, we also set up some scouting instructions. So we already had this one set up with just any players from England, America or Scotland who could be a first team player. But we also set up scouting instructions for a very pacey winger. And that Rangers player looks to be a good one. Nobody on the right wing so far though. I'm not 100% sure whether I will. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Do I like Daniel Jebison enough to buy him outright? He's currently on loan at Redmont Rangers. Do I like him enough to buy him? He's worth 3.6. I doubt we even could buy him even if we wanted to. So we do just have 1.7 million. I don't like that it says 2. When we only have 1.7. I imagine they're just going to laugh in our face when we offer them 1.5 and 10%. I don't think there's even anyone really that we can offer in exchange, to be honest. I mean, Zach Francis maybe. Oh, Jamie Ford we could offer, but he's really not worth very much at all. Rory Bullock. Aidan Hutton is 29 now. We kind of need those guys though. I mean, that's about the best offer we can do. 1.5, 10% and Jamie Ford. They're going to tell us to do one. They don't tell us to do one. They come back with 2.45 and 17%. I mean, it's still nowhere close to what we can offer. Maybe we could do like 1.6. Nah, even then we're going to be left with no money to actually sign him. And we can't even really do 1.2, 1.5. Because we just won't be able to offer him anything like the wages that he would want. No, so Daniel Jefferson, that's just not going to happen. So I think we leave it for now. Let's wait for those extra scout reports to come in. And we can always wait right until the very end of the month. We don't need to bring anybody in early in January. We can always wait until the deadline. Eli just wanted to play. We're going back towards basically a first team 11 for this game, I would say. So Taylor's coming back in. And Lancaster can be on the bench rather than the starting 11. So second game to quick sim here against Exeter. We do drop out of the playoffs with that draw against Wrexham. So we'll see if we can get a win against Exeter and get back in the mix. And we do just eke out a win. Eli Just scoring in the first half after Aitchison had opened the scoring for Exeter in the 6th minute. Jake Dale with a strong second half, scoring in the 56th minute. Cole equalises for Exeter City, and then Jake Dale comes up clutch again in the 84th minute with a goal to give Redmont Rangers a 3-2 victory. We might not be back in the playoffs just yet, so depending on Reading's result, we might still be on the outside looking in. But we'll see what that does to the table. And then we'll prepare to take on Derby County. Oh, so we're actually not going to be able to see right away. I do want to go in and see, though. We go all the way up into 4th with that win. So it is very close at the top of the table there. Ipswich running away on 62 points. Rotherham all the way up on 50 now. Starting to pull away just a little, although Charlton do have a game in hand. But we're all the way up to 4th place. Still just a point away from falling out of the playoffs, though. So we're going to have to keep the string of results going. Tavide wants to play more, and that's fair enough, to be honest. He doesn't play a lot. Tom Holmes we've scouted. He doesn't look great. We've got other better options on the shortlist already. Have the scouts picked out anybody else who's worth looking into? I mean, just free agents. They're all free agents, really. I don't want to sign too many free agents. This guy doesn't even look that quick. And that is what I'm focused on the most, is pace down the wing. I think that would be the one way we could really make a difference to the team in January, is to bring in a player who is just absolutely rapid down the wing. Matondo looks like he could be that player, but he's got a release clause of 3.95 million, so potentially he might be a little out of our budget. Alright, let's set up a team for Derby County then, and we'll get stuck into that game. Timo Werner going to Bayer Leverkusen. That's a really interesting move. So, Derby County going to line up in a 5-3-2 formation. And they are going to play down the wings, interestingly enough. So, do I want to go with a 4-4-2 or do I want to go with a 4-4-1-1, or do I want to even match them with 5 at the back of our own? I think we want to go with a 4-1-4-1. I think that will give us the edge in midfield. And I think that will be the strongest option defensively against their setup. I don't particularly want to go 5 at the back, although they are playing with 2 strikers. I think a 4-1-4-1 is going to be our best option. I do just want... Oh, he is set up in the way that I do want him already. So, Jake Dale is going to have to start up front, of course. And I think I'm going to keep Tavide on the bench rather than putting Jefferson there. The usual midfield that we tend to go with when we line up in this formation. And then our strongest back 4, which consists of Zoroya, Stanley, Taylor and Key. Hewitt in goal. He's up to a 61 now. So that's another overall point that's been gained by Roman Hewitt this season, and making really good progress. Jamie Ford can be on the bench. Same with Walter, and Tavide, as I said, is going to play ahead of Jefferson on the bench for this particular game. So that's the setup against Derby County. It is an FA Cup game, so it is one that we can afford to lose, because it doesn't contribute to, our title push or our promotion push, let's say. However, the board do again want us to reach the last 16 of the FA Cup. This is only round 3, I believe. So, I would like to win this. I would like to keep the board happy. So, a win here would be excellent for that reason, in addition to making a cup run.
The hype has been building all week, and we're just moments away from kickoff time. Stay tuned for the live action. Hello everyone.
So, championship opposition here in this game. Let's see what we can do against Derby County. I'll be interested to see how this game goes, whether it feels like a step up compared to these League 1 sides. It certainly did feel like a step up from League 2 to League 1 at the beginning of the year. It'll be interesting to see if we see a red card here as well, because I have been seeing a lot of red cards recently. I haven't tweaked the referee strictness or anything just yet. I want to continue to see how it goes, and if the referees continue to give red cards for challenges that I think probably should only be yellows. If that does continue, I will look into the referee strictness and potentially make a tweak to that, but I'll leave it for now and just allow the sample size to expand just a little. Good start from Redmont Rangers, playing patiently, just building up as Derby County allow us to play. I think when we have the ball, the game's probably going to feel fairly similar. I think when we might notice a difference is when Derby County get possession of the ball. So I think the more that we can possess the ball, the better this game's going to go. Oh, and Jake Dale heads across goal early. But the Derby County goalkeeper, Wildsmith, corrals the ball without too much difficulty. He did manage to drop kick the ball further than the edge of the penalty area, which is interesting. We'll see if he continues to do that, or whether he goes back to what we have been seeing, and Jake Dale's nicked the ball away here. Runs in on goal. He's been closed down by a Derby County player. Gets a strike away regardless, but the goalkeeper parries it away. Paris Magoma tries. Brandon Anderson tries a shot from the edge of the box. And out of nothing, there was a frantic couple of moments there for Derby County. Giving the ball away to Jake Dale completely needlessly. And almost finding themselves a goal down there. Really, we probably should be a goal ahead. Jake Dale ordinarily clinical in those kinds of situations. Great ball from Paris Magoma up to Jake Dale, but he can't quite get the ball into his feet before the Derby County player steps in to nick the ball away. Derby County now work it down their left-hand side, but it's a good challenge from Michael Garbutt. He's really been coming into his own recently, playing very, very well.
Making use of his physical strength to hang on to it. A chance to whip it in.
Good football from Derby County there, but Roman Hewitt equal to the shot. We'll see if Eli Just can come away on the Redmont Rangers left now, but he can't. It's a throw in though that will just settle the game for a moment for Redmont. Brandon Anderson tries a speculative ball out to the right for Ryan Lancaster to chase. He's going to put the Derby County defender under pressure, unable to keep the ball in play, but nicks the ball from the throw-in, and again the goalkeeper's made a spectacular save. That's two one-on-one opportunities that Redmont Rangers have had to open the scoring, both coming from terrible, terrible mistakes from the Derby County defence. Eli Just flying through the air to get a shot on goal there. A karate kick almost. Blocked by the Derby County defender, and it's out for another corner. Jake Dale wins the header and knocks it past the goalkeeper. There's nothing he could do about it this time. And an absolutely towering header from Jake Dale opens the scoring. The Redmont Rangers fans go wild. It's a great ball in from Paris Magoma. Jake Dale right around the penalty spot, just heads it between the goalkeeper and the player on the near post. It's a perfectly placed header. And Redmont Rangers do open the scoring. 18 minutes in, find themselves a goal up at home to Championship Derby County. To be fair, we're close to the top of League One in 4th place. Derby County are very close to the bottom of the Championship, so although technically there's a league between us, there's really not too much between us. Oh, and Brandon Anderson's stolen in at the near post there to flick a diving header across goal. Really good movement from the defensive midfielder. Unusual to see him in such a position, even more unusual to see him making such an intelligent run.
Well, that'll be a free kick.
Oh, it's a really poor pass from Caleb Taylor. And a free kick that goes Redmont Rangers' way. Leads to Derby County forging an attack here, which Harrison Stanley is going to have to try and snuff out. Brandon Anderson manages to do exactly that in the end. And he manages to send the ball out wide for Josh Key to run onto. Josh Key just gives the ball straight back to Derby. Redmont Rangers not doing themselves any favours on the ball at the moment. Do you get a chance to break here though? A ball inside to Jake Dale. Turning inside was probably the wrong thing to do there. There was 2 or 3 Derby County players waiting for him to do exactly that. Well read from Josh Key though. Roman Hewitt spreads it wide to Nick Zaroya, who can't find an opening ahead of him, so he just plays it back inside to Harrison Stanley.
On to Taylor.
Josh Key is well struggling to find anything ahead of him. It's Paris Magoma that takes up a good position to receive the ball. And spread it wide left to Zaroya again. Eli just makes a run in behind. Paris Magoma can't quite find him though. It was a nice idea from Redmont, but nice turn from Ryan Lancaster, just rolling his man. He's going to have to shoot across goal. There's not too much else on for him. Another good save from the goalkeeper at point blank range. Really well worked from Redmont Rangers, and I think they've won a free kick here. It looks to be a handball from the Derby County defender as the ball fell out of the air. Eli Just will put it across the 6-yard box. Not the best target though in Ryan Lancaster. Couldn't quite find Jake Dale. And Caleb Taylor snuffed that out immediately. Really good defender from Redmont Rangers in the last 10-15 minutes or so. Just not allowing Derby County to build any sort of attack at all. Redmont just content to work it around here really, and that's a really poor ball from Josh Key. Spoke far too soon. Just playing it across the back line, but Josh Key, not for the first time today, misplaces his pass and gives the ball straight back to Derby County. It's a great ball from Caleb Taylor out to Nick Zaroya. The Redmont Rangers fans really enjoyed that.
Rangers charging forward with options available. Good looking move this.
Derby County actually defending very well. Not pressing very aggressively at all. Content to allow us just to have the ball, but not really allowing us to do anything much with it. I mean, it's a strategy that does play into our hands to some extent, since we are the ones with the lead. But I suppose the longer they hold on to, or the longer they maintain just a single goal disadvantage, the more likely it is that they might be able to nick a goal and get back into the game. I think potentially hitting them on a counter-attack might be the way to go. Catch them before they set up their defensive ranks. Good ball in from behind. Ryan Lancaster cuts inside. Can't find the space on his left foot to shoot. It's good pressing from Jake Dale and Ryan Lancaster. Keeping Derby County pinned back in their own final third. They managed to work the ball out really well though. There are players in the box for the Derby County winger to aim for. Nick Zaroya trying to stop the cross. Manages to do that eventually but can't quite clear. Eli Just again though manages to nick the ball away. He did that several times in the last episode. Stealing the ball away from the opposition really well. Just persistent play as much as anything. And he's done it again. Eli just an absolute menace. Oh, I can't quite pull it back to Jake Dale though. He does a really good job of pressing Eli Just. And actually it's surprisingly good, not defensively exactly, but surprisingly good at winning the ball. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a really poor stand tackle rating, but it doesn't play like that in game. Jake Dale with the only goal at half time then. And Redmont Rangers have a 1-0 lead at home to Derby County. Derby with just the one shot to Redmont Rangers 9. So we're definitely making better use of the ball. Possession and passes fairly even. But we've just been far more productive when we have had possession. A number of those shots did come in quick succession, to be fair. There was a very brief passage where Jake Dale got a shot away, Brandon Anderson, Paris Magoma, all got shots away at goal. So the total shots may be a little misleading. But at the same time, I think we definitely have used the ball better than Derby County. It's a lovely ball from Caleb Taylor into Ryan Lancaster, and that should be a yellow card, I would imagine. And it is a yellow. Really good ball from Caleb Taylor. All the way up to Ryan Lancaster. And it's a cynical challenge because Ryan Lancaster was in behind there and ready to cross. I prefer a right footer here, to be honest, so we'll get Magoma to take this free kick. Often takes corners for us, and it's a better angle for the right footer. We just needed somebody on the edge of the box there, really, for that exact reason. Brandon Anderson challenged for the header, but it was cleared, and again Eli Just is there to steal the ball away. Tries to play it inside to Jake Dale, can't find him the first time, he does the second. Jake Dale just trying to lay it off for Brandon Anderson, who had taken up a position on the edge of the box this time. But Derby County come away with it. I think Samson Tavide is going to make an appearance at some point. Mohamed Salah to Arsenal. That's another interesting move. A really interesting January transfer window so far. With Timo Werner going to Bayer Leverkusen. Mo Salah going to Arsenal. We'll have to check in on some of the other transfers from around the leagues as well. It's a good ball in. The header flashes wide though. It's one of the few sights of goal Derby County have had really so far today. It's a really good run from Jake Dale, but Anderson never really going to find him there realistically. Not with a back five and Jake Dale being the only player up front to occupy the defender's attention. They're not playing with a particularly high line either, Derby, so not a massive amount of space in behind for Jake Dale to run onto. But it's a nice idea nonetheless. A nice idea in theory maybe, but less so in practice. Oh, that's a really poor pass. I'm not sure why it does that sometimes. I'm waiting for the ball to arrive at Caleb Taylor's feet. I'm powering up the pass, and then as soon as it arrives, he just taps it. I'm powering up the pass just before the ball arrives. And it does that fairly frequently, to be honest. It's a handball from somebody. I think maybe it's us though. It is. Maybe I'll make a couple of changes here. I think I'm going to bring Jake Dale off for Samson Tavide. And I think I'm going to bring Mael Walter on for Ryan Lancaster.
Wasn't forthcoming.
So half an hour to go in the game. We do still hang on to this 1-0 lead currently. Doubling that advantage would be preferable. Hanging on to the single goal advantage would also be fine. So looking not to concede, but also don't want to completely neuter our attack. I do want to still play positive football, still want to go for a second goal here, but we're certainly not going all out. Ball in behind here for Maya Walter to chase would be good. He's not the paciest player. He might just get there anyway though. Doesn't get there the first time, can't quite get there the second time. He has managed to nick the ball away though, and Brandon Anderson is in acres of space, and it's an absolutely incredible save from the goalkeeper. 3 times in this game he has made an incredible save one-on-one with a Redmont Rangers attacker. It really could have been 4 or 5 if it wasn't for the Derby County goalkeeper. Harrison Stanley challenges for the header, but the Derby player wins it and it goes out for another corner. And Gomez looking back post this time, but the goalkeeper comes out and claims very, very well.
Given away by Derby. What can they do to stop him running at them? He cuts it back.
And it's another fantastic save. We just cannot beat this goalkeeper for a second time. Really well worked from Redmont Rangers down the left hand side. Nick Zaroy winning the ball back, playing it into Eli Just, cuts it across the penalty area for Michael Garbett to run onto. And to be fair, that shot was a little too close to the goalkeeper. We've made his job easy there. It's an outswinger this time, which Eli Just challenges for. He's never likely to win that though. Caleb Taylor flicks the ball back into the penalty area. But Derby County come away with it. Nick Zaroy is there to try and stop the counter attack before it starts, but he's unable to do so. And we could be in trouble here. Nick Zaroy does eventually stop the cross. I think with his arm though, according to the assistant. And it was with his arm, according to the assistant referee. It's well won from Samson Tavide back in his own 6-yard box. Josh Key's going to have to do the same. He doesn't manage to do that. In fact, it looked as if he'd fouled the Derby County player for a minute. Derby County player rose to head the ball and took a tumble afterwards.
20 minutes to go in this one. That was a very fine read.
Derby County looking a little more lively now. We're going to have to be careful here. Maybe shift back into our defensive game plan just to try and hang on to this lead. They are pressing a lot more aggressively. I think we're going to have to make a change here. Brandon Anderson needs taken out. Zach Francis can come in. And I think just the one change for now is fine. But I will also drop back into that defensive game plan. Just where we sit a little deeper, we just focus on controlling the ball, controlling the game, rather than pushing too much for a second goal. There's about 20 minutes left, injury time included. So I think if we can hang on to this lead for another 20 minutes, we have to be happy. I think at this stage of the game, we don't need to push for a second goal. And how that ball has stayed in, I have no idea. Glad it did though, because Nick Zaroy manages to come away with it. Sets Eli Just away. Spreads the ball wide for Josh Key. There's no help ahead of him. I'm not sure where Ryan Lancaster is. I do know where Ryan Lancaster is. He's on the bench. And I think actually what's happened there is somebody needs to make a challenge. And Harrison Stanley eventually blocks the shot, but that was really poor defending. I think what actually happened there was Maya Walter has come on for Ryan Lancaster, but I switched into the defensive game plan, and I think Eli Just and Maya Walter will be on opposite sides in that defensive game plan. So they've both made their way over to the left. Or they both ended up on the left. And it just took a while for Eli Just to get over to the right hand side there.
George Key. Stanley.
10 minutes to go. Harris Magoma's in down the left hand side. Eli Just takes it down, strikes at goal and doubles the lead. And just like that, Redmont Rangers surely have secured passage into the next round of the FA Cup. It's a goal really that's come against the run of play. Derby County just going to sleep. Harris Magoma in acres of space. Allow Eli Just to take it down on his thigh in the penalty area and just strike at goal. 5 defenders, none of them really seemed eager to do anything about their attack. And Eli Just in a rich vein of goal scoring form scores again. Doubles Redmont Rangers lead. And surely fires them into the next round of the FA Cup. Against championship opposition, no less.
Very effective play in possession. And a good challenge to bring that.
Harris Magoma will just clear. At this point, we definitely don't need to worry about doing too much going forward. Just clearing the ball is fine. Derby obviously have to score 2 goals now to really make a difference in the game. I think we'll make our final changes now as well. Magoma could come off of Ford. And then I think I'll just bring... I'm going to bring Bullock on, in fact, to sit in front of the back 4.
Disappointing for them. This is slithering away.
Well, the clock's ticking fast at the moment, Mike. I think that gets going down.
Oh, it's a unfortunate pass from Bullock. Just saw Samson Tavide standing all alone up front. Couldn't quite squeeze the pass through to find his feet though.
Stanley.
And it feels a bit like Derby County have given up hope now. They're kind of running around feigning some sort of a press, but without pressing with too much kind of direction or purpose, to be honest. Just feels like they're kind of aimlessly chasing the ball around. Lovely little turn from Jamie Ford. So he's another player we have got on the transfer list at the moment, who potentially we could see leave in January. I do quite like Jamie Ford. I'd rather not see him leave. However, he does only have 6 months left on his contract, and I don't really see him being able to make too much of a difference. They're sending the goalkeeper up for some reason, Derby County. I suppose if they don't get a goal here, then the game is essentially over, but even if they do get the goal, I'm not sure how much they can really do. Yeah, Jamie Ford, just 6 months left on his contract. I'm not too eager to renew it though. Good save, Roman Hewitt. So I don't see him making too much of an impact for Redmont Rangers going forward. He's only in the high 50s and he is, I believe, already 19. So, I mean, we've got players in the youth academy really who on paper are going to be better than him. He does seem to play above his ratings in game, I would say. He feels like a higher overall. He's kind of like Sam Ford in that respect. Sam Ford only a low 60s in terms of overall, but he plays much better than that when you actually use him. Same for Jamie Ford. But I think we're going to be bringing players in from the youth academy. We're going to be making a signing or two. He's not playing a particularly big role at the moment. And his role, you would think, is only going to get smaller. His role isn't going to grow in the future. Oh, Amaya Walters managed to wriggle away from the Derby County defender. Doesn't manage to do it for a second time, though. So I think Jamie Ford, just his opportunities lie elsewhere. Redmont Rangers fans in raptures. They've just seen a 2-0 win for their side. Jake Dale with the opener and Eli Just with another goal. I feel like we're relying on them for almost all of our goals at the moment. And yeah, we said before the game that would be a good test to see how far we've come, to see if we're ready to make the step up to the championship. And based on that performance, I would say definitely we are. And Cambridge beat Man United 4-1. Did you see that? The top result there among the list of fixtures. Cambridge 4, Manchester United 1. A massive result for Cambridge. Yeah, so we did technically play championship opposition, but it was low-level championship opposition. So, a decent barometer. But obviously, when we do make it up to the championship, we are obviously looking to get promoted again. The Premiership is the ultimate destination. So we're going to have to beat better teams than Derby County if we do want to make that a reality in the not too distant future. Harrison Stanley has been approached, or we've been approached. I'll get it right in a minute. We've been approached by Sheffield United with an offer for Harrison Stanley. And it's an offer of 1.4 million. Harrison Stanley's 31 years old. And he is our best defender. Do we want to accept that? What I'm going to do is have a look at Sheffield United and see. I'm not sure where they are. They got relegated last season. Let's see who they have at the back at the moment and see if Harrison Stanley would make the team. They actually only have 4 centre-backs and they play a 5 at the back formation in the game. It looks like they've probably sold 1 or 2 of their centre-backs. So I think what we might do is accept that offer. I don't really want to. However, all clubs, can we sort this and see if Sheffield United have sold anyone in this window? We can't. Oh my days, 112 million Spurs spend on a centre-back. That's crazy. What a January transfer window this is. Hakimi to Arsenal, in addition to Mo Salah. Schlotterbeck to Barcelona. Saliba goes to Bayern Munich. There's Salah. João Cancelo goes to Paris Saint-Germain. Do we see any... Oh, Surla to Newcastle is interesting. Kanate goes to Villarreal. Romero from Spurs to Borussia Dortmund. Couple of good signings for Roma there. Strengthened their squad quite a bit. Thuram to Brentford is an interesting one as well. Makoko to Barcelona. Arsenal also spend on Jimenez. I don't see any Sheffield United players here being sold. I think it seems to me though Sheffield only have 4 defenders and they play 5 at the back, so, or 4 centre backs at the very least. So I think what I'm going to do is accept that offer for Harrison Stanley. I think Sheffield United are in need of a centre back. They've come to the league below in search of one. Harrison Stanley is 31. We are a squad that's looking to get younger, to build for longevity. Harrison Stanley wants to guarantee an opportunity to play at a higher level. We might not get promoted this season. Sheffield United are definitely going to be in the Championship at the very least. They might even go back up to the Premier League. So let's negotiate and see if we can squeeze a little more money out of Sheffield for Harrison Stanley. It said 1.55 was the best we could get. Let's try 5.75. They're sticking with 1.4. Let's just go with 1.5. They're sticking with 1.4. Fine. So potentially we could have a bit more money to spend, and potentially we could end up with enough money to sign Daniel Jefferson after all. And that deal has gone through remarkably quickly. Harrison Stanley, eager to pack his bags and get going over to Sheffield. Not too far to go for him. Just from the northeast across to Yorkshire. So we should get about $1 million out of that. Which means we could maybe go and offer... oh, less than $1 million. We can maybe go and offer something like 2.2 for Daniel Jefferson. 2.25 maybe. It doesn't leave us a lot, does it? Let's just try 2 million. And let's see if they're interested in Jamie Ford again. And we'll give them a 10% sell-on clause. In fact, let's do, 2 million and Jamie Ford. Let's see what they say to that. They want 2.4 and 5. There could be something in here, you know. 2.15 and 5%. They want 2.15 with 8%. That would leave us with 640,000 and 12,000 in the wage budget. I think that's going to be our best offer, to be honest. I think that's going to be the best option. Making Daniel Jefferson's move permanent. And then we'll go into next season with Jefferson, Dale and Tavide as our strikers. And then possibly Coates or Cook. Probably more likely Cook as a 4th option. I think that's going to be better than trying to bring in a pacey winger in this particular window. And then possibly next summer we'll look to bring in a winger to strengthen there. So let's go to the transfer hub and see what we can do in terms of a contract negotiation for Daniel Jefferson. He's currently on 12,500. He's probably going to want crucial. He does want crucial, so we might have to commit to playing 2 up front a little more often. But I mean, Jake Dale and Daniel Jefferson, they're going to be the 2. And we'll try and give him a 4-year deal. He wants 1 year. That's insane. Not happy to be a Redmont Rangers player by the looks of it. I think 2 years is fine. He's probably going to want a pay rise if we go up to the Championship. Is probably his thinking there. No release clause is fine. And he is happy to take a significant pay cut. I'm actually happy to give him a bit more than that. And I would rather give him a little more in terms of wages. And hold on to the extra budget. So let's just bump it up to 8,050k. And I reckon he'll probably accept that. And he does. So Daniel Jefferson becomes a Redmont Rangers player permanently. been on loan from Sheffield United. And possibly the transfer of Harrison Stanley helped to grease the wheels a little bit there. They said, if you give us Harrison Stanley for a good price, we'll give you Daniel Jebison back for a good price. So there he is, the number 28. How long he holds on to that number, I'm not sure. Jake Dale's got dibs on the number 9, obviously. And he's not planning on going anywhere anytime soon. We do get an A for the deal as well. Because he's worth 3.6 and we paid 2.2 in the end. The best possible deal was 2.4. Well, it wasn't, because we paid 2.2. So, really good signing that, I think. And a good way to spend our remaining budget. There wasn't too much that I needed to do in January, I don't think. I was kind of looking to spend the money just to spend it, because why leave it just sitting in the bank? So I think making that Daniel Jefferson signing permanent is a really good way to spend the last of that money. So let's take a look at the standings again just to finish the episode. Nothing's changed since the last time we looked. We're in 4th position. But good just to end the episode with a reminder of that. Let's see what we've got in terms of games coming up in the next episode then. I'm going to round out January with games against Lincoln and Walsall. We will then have deadline day. So the January transfer window closing at the end of the month. Probably not too much going on there, so we can probably, breeze through that fairly quickly. And then immediately we've got Port Vale at home to kick things off in February. So turning over the leaf into 2025 at this stage. Really good start to the year. 2 wins. One coming against Exeter and one against Derby. Following the draw against Wrexham. So another unbeaten episode for us is really good to see. Not sure which game I'll play and which ones I will sim in the next episode. I think we played Lincoln last season. We will have played Walsall. We've played Port Vale fairly recently. So yeah, we'll make a decision in the next episode of who we're actually going to play and who we are going to sim. Daniel Jebson just wants to stop by and say he's really happy things have been sorted out between the clubs. We know he's happy playing here. We just hope that we can go on and win things together now. We will be expecting... we're trying to build something here. And Daniel Jebson certainly could be part of the future for Redmont Rangers. Just 21 years old, 71 overall. Really, really promising young striker. He's big, he's strong, he's quick. He's in that Jake Dale mould. And hopefully he'll be able to learn a thing or two from Jake Dale going forward. So, really good way to finish the episode. Making that signing of Jebison permanent. And we'll take on some more teams in the next episode and try and build towards a late season promotion push, really secure that playoff place and potentially move up towards the automatic playoff places. So until the next episode, take it easy.